Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So these weekly general readings are for the general energies, trends and themes that are likely to expand over the course of the coming week. And obviously these are always informed by my intuitive message, which I'm pretty sure at this point you probably can't see very well. So I apologize for that, but I will read it out to you in just a moment. So before I do these readings, I will go into my intuition and I will ask, what is the message that we need to know this week? What is the overarching energy or theme? And this was quite an interesting one. And I think a part of this is down to certain work that I've been doing with a certain wonderful item. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, really interesting. So with that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So before we get into that, if you haven't seen it, there's obviously quite a few posts now coming out. Radiant Reality is bringing a new course into the digital sphere. It's called Mindset Magic and it goes live on the 7th of June. I would love to have you be a part of this. Don't panic, you don't have to be there on the day. The course is delivered via a platform, so there's going to be PDFs, there's going to be exercises, and there's also going to be meditations. If you love manifesting, if you are into that whole kind of vibe, you are going to love this. And I think I've created something that will give you repeatable results and successes. And I know this because I've been using it myself for quite a while. So with that said, if you liked my chakra meditations, I think you're going to really enjoy these as well. That component of this, certainly. There's also a community part of it as well. So every quarter we will have a quarterly call to get together, and there will be all kinds of energy work and lots of, if you know me, you know I'm big into energy work, so I think you will really enjoy that part of it as well. And as if that wasn't enough, you will also get access to the Radiant Reality Course Alums Facebook group, which you will only get access to if you've taken one of my courses. So I look forward to it. I can't wait to see you guys there, and thank you so much for letting me do my sales pitch. You guys know I don't do this stuff too often, but it's this one's been a labor of love and it's been a long time coming, so I'm really excited to bring you this. All right, so with that said, your intuitive message this week was the beauty is in the brine. So what is brine? Brine is salty water, baby. And so when you think about this, especially in terms of like things like cooking or food, you know that this is like a salt solution. And on its own, it doesn't really do much, right? It doesn't really taste very good, but it has amazing results when it is applied to something else. And so this week, that's the message that I took from this. You can think of brine as being something salty, and so the beauty is in the brine. So this isn't necessarily about the end result. It's about the process that you go through to marinate something, letting something sit, letting it marinate. And also, you know, when we think about brine being a salty solution, sitting in that salt, sitting in the solution, the beauty is in the salty moments. You know, it's like anybody that does weight training, etc., they'll all tell you it's not while you're doing the exercises that your body grows. It's actually in the rest, when you let it sit and let it marinate and do its thing. That's where all the new tissue is built and laid down, etc. So this week you're really being asked to kind of, whatever is challenging, whatever is there, I'm not saying like sit and revel in the challenges. What I'm saying is take a moment to realize that while you are in something, it means you are being elevated and highlighted for the next thing that is coming in, that is going to take you to where you would like to be. For your destiny card, you have the Hanged Man. You literally can't make this stuff up. So what is the message with the Hanged Man? To sit with it, to sit exactly where you are, to do nothing. Sometimes the best way for us to get the thing that we want most is literally to sit still and to do nothing. Some of the keywords for this card are stasis, stillness, meditation, sitting still, being still. It can represent delays, but I don't think that's the case here. I actually think this is a moment at which we're all supposed to take a collective sigh, a collective breath, to sit still and say, okay, it is what it is right now. See the beauty in it, see the blessing in it. What is this an opportunity for me to learn or to gain right now? So how do we best tap into, aside from sitting still and doing nothing, how do we best tap into and sit still with that Hanged Man energy? Well, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. By taking our time to savor whatever it is that we're working on or through at this moment in time. It's kind of like, you know, when you're eating a really delicious dessert, if you just scarf it down, it's done, and it's like, oh, that was lovely, but that's kind of it. But if you take time to savor it bite by bite, you can really appreciate all of the subtle textures and tones and flavors and all of the rest of it. For on top of that, we've got the Knight of Cups. So, excuse me. Sorry about that, gosh. At times, there are going to be things that come up for us or things that are presented to us that at that moment in time don't feel so great. They don't feel that exciting or that wonderful until we really start to savor them and look at it over and over. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes when you hear a song, like when a new song is released and you listen to it once and you're like, I don't really know how I feel about it. And then you listen to it a couple more times and you're like, actually, yeah, this is my song. There's something this week that suggests whatever we are presented with, whatever we are working through at the moment, there's an element of us not being able, like at face value, you won't notice this for what it is. So you have to take your time and savor it, because whatever's being offered or presented to you is way more than it appears on the surface. And on top of that, we've got the King of Cups. So this is really about adjusting our emotional attitude. So this week, you are likely to be able to make some headway on an emotional level. A King of Cups, so King of Cups is usually a water sign male, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You've got the Hanged Man in close proximity. This could be a Pisces person, may feature for you in some way, shape or form. So whoever your Pisces people are, whether they're men, women, people, children, etc., even pets, there's likely to be something that they can share with you that you haven't seen or that gives you a different perspective. But in order for you to see that, you have to step back from the way that things are. This is about, and you know, when you think about the Fool card as well, in a sense, but when you think about the Hanged Man, he's inverting reality for a reason, to get a different perspective on something. And it's only by savoring what shows up or who shows up at this moment in time that you're going to be able to see things in that way. This could be a time where sitting still, meditating, you know, practicing some form of mindfulness could be a good way forward. Remember, the Hanged Man is also Neptune, and with this much water in the direction cards as well, we may not be seeing something so this is why I say you might look at something at face value and discard it straight away, which could be a mistake. For the insight cards, what's going on behind the scenes that we may not be aware of, we've got Temperance, we've got the Seven of Swords, and we've got the Three of Wands. So this is, with the Temperance card and the Seven of Swords, that is a lie or a fib or some piece of information that comes to light that potentially causes a problem or an issue. So just know that there may be something in the background brewing that we are unaware of as yet. But then we've got the Three of Wands, which suggests that we are going to be able to assimilate and say, okay, now that I know this, all right, it sucks to hear this piece of information. It's not comfortable or nice to be told whatever it is that we're being told. But with the Three of Wands, you can transmute this. And now that you know this, something that you didn't know before, some piece of information that you weren't privy to before, at least you're making an informed choice. So there's something about this week actually that, even though on the surface or at the initial sort of onset it doesn't feel like it, this could end up bringing a lot of clarity into the forefront, providing we are able to swallow a bitter pill or find the beauty in the brine. So whatever these salty moments, situations, connections or people are that come up, there is a reason, right? There is a reason. They're adding some sort of nuance or flavor to our lives that we probably need in order to push forward. but I have to say I absolutely love it. I know a lot of you are probably like, wait, what did he just say? Like, yeah, no, I actually do. And then so you've got the Seven of Swords, and you've also got the Seven of Pentacles. 2 sevens represents news. So this is information that we haven't been privy to. On the wider world stage, I would probably say we're going to see the changing of hands of power somewhere, or the changing of the guard in a sense. Yeah, absolutely. And also, I wouldn't be surprised, the Temperance card with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about the medical profession or arena that starts to see so like I wouldn't like the medical sort of industry, that's the word that I was looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if we gain new knowledge or insight into some of their practices that they would have tried to keep hidden. So this is one of the beauties of living in the digital age, right? That even the corporations and the people with money, etc., can't hide for too long. So it will be interesting to see how that hits. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.